So those are views coming in predominantly from IT. Let's put the spotlight on the top stock of the day, Pratap Snacks. Bucking the trend, stock is soaring. Up what? I mean, maybe 9-11% thereabouts. So there you go, 9% higher. And Mahima joins in to highlight what's pushing the stock higher and try to break this down a little bit. Mahima.
Right, Harsh. So we're seeing such uptick in stock on the back of a couple of reasons. Now, Stalin Asset has bought around 3.69 lakh shares at 1.54% at 965 a piece, and Bandhan Bank Mutual Fund has basically sold this to Stalin Asset. They've sold around 3.94 lakhs, that is 1.65%. Now, in terms of the recent investments that have been made in Pratap Snacks, recently back in September, Atom Investment as well as Madhusudan Kela bought 46.9% stake. They've bought it from Peak Partners and Sequoia Capital, and this was bought at 846 crores. Now, in terms of the con-call highlights that have taken place in Q2, management remains positive with respect to the outlook of the company. The growth drivers include focus on premiumization, new product development, exports, as well as quick commerce is something that will drive growth for the company. In terms of other highlights, well, they've initiated exports in Q3 FY24. The company is also maintaining its market share with respect to the price point of rupees 5 per pack, and the management remains optimistic with respect to the long-term perspective of the company, and they're shifting to higher price points is what the management has said, which will kind of augur in the top line growth for the company. And they're also enhancing contribution from larger packs, so this means that it will also aid the margin going forward. Now, in terms of the management margin guidance, they've said that it is under pressure right now, considering the inflation that is going around with respect to raw material prices. We've seen the run up in the palm oil prices, but what they've said is that long-term structural margin improvement is targeted, and this will be done through three major things, that is operational efficiencies, cost reductions, as well as premiumization in new product segments, as well as larger packs, with the management has already said. So all of these things combined, Harsh is trying to turn around the company, and which is why we're seeing significant up moves in the stock today.
Okay, a bit of growth, a bit of turnaround, also rural at play, very, very likely. And whether that comes or not, we'll have to wait and watch. Gurmeet, views with regard to this one. One pocket that's really underperformed, is the FMCG, QSR and the likes. They've really seen pain. You expect them to turn a corner, and if so, when?
So we don't have any exposure to Pratap Snacks. Where we have exposure is Mrs. Vector, which is basically the biscuit segment. Does almost 250-300 crore revenue. The bakery segment is now above 150 crores. There is premiumization happening in both lines, and they are they've set up new plants for biscuits in Rajpura and for bakery in NCR. And there is a distribution expansion happening there. So plus also their supply to some of the QSR names, including Westlife. So that's something we have. We are looking at Tata Consumer also on dips. I think that's one name which I think the food and beverage segment should do well. That's another part of our portfolio has corrected significantly from 12-1300 levels. So these are the names I'm tracking. I think you have to wait for a bit of a consumption revival. I think right now the story is more about who manages input cost inflation better in terms of reducing grammage, improving efficiencies, passing on some cost to smart price hikes. So we have few names in our radar. We have Britannia, which we are tracking, Mrs. Bector and Tata Consumer, and ITC we already have. ITC obviously is a much wider play. And if we see some early signs of rural recovery, there were some signs in the festive season. I think then we would probably want to add more. There is now some valuation comfort in a lot of these FMCG names.